Farmingdale, New Jersey is going to be one of the best kept secrets here in Monmouth County. It's a small town with a huge sense of community where quiet streets, classic homes, and that historic charm all meets together in one place. You're also going to be located not too far from major highways, good shopping and dining hubs, plus the best parks in the state. So on today's video, we're going to cover everything you need to know before moving to Farmingdale. If it's your first time to the channel though, my name is Steve McCutcheon, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. And on the Live in Central Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you're the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. Starting off with the location, Farmingdale is going to be in Monmouth County, like we said, but it's also going to be half a square mile and 1,400 residents. So it's definitely on the smaller side, has that tight-knit feel and close proximity to a lot of the shopping and amenities like we mentioned here earlier. So Route 9 is not going to be too far away. You have Route 33, 34, and the Garden State Parkway. So getting north to south or east to west is very easy with Farmingdale, and you actually have Route 95 to the south a little bit farther there too. So realistically, it's a pretty good hub for the commuters, like I mentioned earlier. We'll get to that in just a second, but overall, phenomenal township to live in. It's basically suburban New Jersey, just scaled down to a much smaller location. So it's also considered a donut town here, which is when one township completely surrounds the other. So Farmingdale is basically within Howell Township, and some people kind of get them confused and say it's a part of Howell, but they are actually two separate municipalities. And with the two biggest commuting hubs being New York City and Philadelphia, a lot of people will typically work there and live here in Jersey. So how does Farmingdale rank up with the commuting purposes? Well, it's not ideal if you're looking for public transportation. It's the best if you're going to probably looking for, or at least if you're driving yourself. When it comes to public transportation, the nearest bus stop and nearest train are not going to be located in Farmingdale. I would say the nearest bus stops are going to be located in Howell and Freehold, which aren't far. They're just right on Route 9, but you have to go out west, and it's just more convenient to head straight north at that point. So it kind of all depends exactly what you want to do. Now, you will have the option to also go north and take a bus or a train if you want to hop on the Garden State Parkway and find a parking ride. So that is a potential solution if you still want to do the majority of commute on public transportation. But at that point, it might just be easier to drive yourself. So how does it kind of fare if you're getting to New York City or Philadelphia? Well, with Philadelphia, I would say 75-ish miles or so, and probably about an hour and 30, assuming that typical rush hour traffic. The easiest solution would just going south to hit 195 and taking that all the way out west until you go to either the New Jersey Turnpike, 295, or one of the roadways out that way. So again, roughly about an hour and a half. New York City, pretty similar for the most part. It would be even faster if there just wasn't so much traffic near the bridges when you're entering over there. Pretty much your commute would be pretty easy up until you hit that Newark airport. And after that, maybe 10 miles or so getting into where you have to go for your job will be the toughest part and most brutal stretch of the entire commute. So about hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, I would say most days. Now, when you're getting into the school districts, where does Farmingdale rank up? So according to niche.com, the Farmingdale School District would be for grades K through 8, house about 170 students, and have a 9-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. So obviously, you're going to have some smaller class sizes being a smaller township, right? When you move on to high school, your child would then attend Howell Township for grades 9 through 12, and that's going to be part of the Freehold Regional High School District. Howell High School is going to be rated an A-, house around 1,900 students, and have a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. So your class sizes will grow as you get up into the high school level. The cool thing about Howell being in the Freehold Regional District, though, is there's something called a magnet program. So when your child is in 8th grade, if they like to, they can apply to attend any of the other 6 high schools in the district. So that's going to be Howell, Colts Neck, Freehold Township and Borough, Marlborough, and Manalapan. Each one's going to specialize in a different program. So, for instance, Manalapan's going to have LEPS, which is the Police and EMS program. Marlborough's the business school. Howell has FPAC, which is like the arts and dance. And list just goes on and on. I think they each pretty much specialize in 2 different ones. So if accepted, they can then attend any of the other high schools in the district and then use that, and they'll get public transportation and busing over there too. If your child was ever to drop out, they would then revert back to their old high school. So it is a pretty competitive program, looks great on college applications, and it can give your child something to look forward to in finding out if the career path they think they want is something worth it, going after. Moving on to the housing options, Farmingdale does a pretty good job of a small town of giving you quite a big selection. So you'll have adult communities, condos and townhomes, and single families. The 2 adult community complexes will be near the northern part of Farmingdale, so off of Route 33, and prices will range between about $700,000 to $950,000. The newer build ones are going to be for the 4 seasons, and they're going to be in the post-2020 era, so 2022, 2023, and closer to where we are now. Next up will be the condos and townhomes. One is under construction currently and won't be ready just yet, as I'm making this video at least. The other one is going to be Cedar Glen, which is in the southern part of Farmingdale. So they're going to be in that early 2000s builds and range between about $450,000 up to about $475,000, at least over the last 12-month span. So relatively pretty affordable in Farmingdale, but When you get to the single family homes, they do get a little bit more expensive. So the bulk of the sales, I would say, are between about $500,000 and $1 million. Over the last 12 months, the highest sale did go up to $2 million. So there is some new construction that's on larger land. But overall, the median sales price, again, over the last 12 months, $802,000. So while it's still a little bit more expensive, I guess, technically, than Monmouth County, a good portion of the sales are probably going to be still under that $700,000 range, especially for your single families. When it comes to shopping and dining, Farmingdale is no slouch in this either, even being a small town. It has a cute downtown area that's going to be quiet and walkable, local businesses lining up the main street there. So, small town charm, small diners, and neighborhood services basically in there. So Woody's, I would say, is probably the best spot to grab a bite to eat. It has indoor and outdoor seating. So during those warmer months, you can catch some live music certain nights, play some cornhole and that kind of thing. If you want to move out a little bit to the outskirts of Farmingdale, go into that Howell and Freehold area, that Route 9 corridor is awesome. You're going to find some chain restaurants, some bigger box retailers like Target and like those kind of stores. You have the Freehold Raceway Mall. In the other direction, if you go out towards Tipton Falls, like towards the east, you're then going to run into the Jersey Shore Premium Outlets, which has another 100 or so stores in their selection. So realistically, Farmingdale is kind of sandwiched between a whole bunch of different options when it comes to shopping and dining. And if you're wondering what the entertainment and just things to do around Farmingdale are, it's surrounded by green. So plenty of different parks, including Allaire State Park, historic Allaire Village, the Manasquan Reservoir. So all these will be perfect for your biking, hiking, paddling, just day trips in general. Highly recommend checking out the Manasquan Reservoir or the brick one a little bit farther south. Car shows and races will be at the Wall Stadium Speedway that's located over on Route 34. Plus, it's so centrally located in Monmouth County with Farmingdale. You also are going to be able to get to the Jersey Shore very easily. So Belmar, Asbury Park, Point Pleasant, probably not more than about a half hour away for either one of them. You can enjoy either like the Point Pleasant with the games, the rides, arcades and all that, or head over to Belmar and just go out. They have a smaller boardwalk and just go tanning with a bunch of friends too. So either way you look at it, so many different things to do in Farmingdale. And plus they have a nice golf course. I want to say top-notch golf course, but Cruise Farms will be a great starter course in my opinion with some good specials on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then it doesn't have any tee times, so sometimes it will be backed up depending on the holiday maybe, or just what's going on that day if it's really nice weather. So just be aware of that, but phenomenal starter course to go out with a couple of your buddies and then just hit the links. To wrap everything up in the bottom line on Farmingdale, I would say it's a peaceful, affordable borough with a strong sense of community. It's great for commuting options if you don't mind driving yourself. Maybe not the best in terms of taking public transportation. You're close to shops and dining, especially with that cute downtown area, some decent restaurants. Really can't go wrong here. So if you are looking to move to the Farmingdale area, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. If you're looking to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up and hopefully help out a little bit too. Have a great day.